Yes, thank you so much. You're listening to Live at 5 here on WPFW. And again, we're being joined by Khadijah Moon, who is out of the D.C. area, D.C. born. And it's funny, I went to her website, and the first thing that it says about you, Khadijah, if you could, it was really funny. It said you're passionately human and deliciously creative.
Ah, yes.
And I see the creativity all around you. If I can paint the scene for everyone, we're in the studio overlooking K Street with cars going by. And there's Khadijah there with a lovely dress on. Aww. And there's cameras and folks surrounding her with lighting. And there's a keyboard. And there's all types of good stuff. So I noted from your website that you're the type of creative person that does some of everything. Yes, and it's interesting. I always self-identify, if any discipline comes to mind first, I'm a writer. And so, as you see, I'm a songwriter, I'm a poet. I like to write creative fiction, short stories. But I like to do everything because for me, it's all about expression. So I like to try to get my hands on everything because I always have something to say. And writing always allows that to shine through. Indeed. And I suppose that if you start with great writing, all the different points of distribution and places, things to do with it, whether you wrote a play or whether you've written a book or whether you've written a song, all those formats are apparently yours to play with at any time when you're ready. Okay. Exactly. Well, we'll talk more about some of the projects that you've been involved with, and especially the music. Okay. And we'll talk about the Liberated Muse Arts Group. Liberated Muse Arts Group. Yes. Gotcha. We'll talk about that as well. Okay. So what would you like to get into next musically? Well, actually, the next piece I would like to do, if I could share a poem. Sure. The poem was inspired by the recent, the Charleston, South Carolina shootings in the church. And I just want to say that all of my pieces will not be political or sad, but for right now, I'm an artist, and like Nina Simone would say, it's our responsibility as artists to really speak to the times and to bring awareness to what's going on. And so I really wanted to open with pieces that are reflecting what's happening right now. And so I'm a very avid social media. I go on social, I brand, I do a lot of marketing as a consultant as myself, and I'm in chat rooms or threads. And one thing that has really been sad to me is how when we use the hashtag Black Lives Matter, how a lot of people tend to respond using the hashtag All Lives Matter as if, not as if they really believe that, but as if it's like my car's bigger. It's a one-up. And so this piece, I originally wanted to call it "To the Woman in the Comment Section Who Derailed an Entire Conversation Regarding the Charleston, South Carolina Murders and Repeatedly Posted All Lives Matter." But my almost 12-year-old told me that was, "Mommy, that's too long." So this poem is called Pink Dress. Okay. Let us imagine pink dress. Ironed strictly, creases expelled from its folds, covering knees bent in arthritic repose, back against pew, brown, dark, hard, hands folded, in a lap once reserved for grandbabies who now wear laps that nestled their own babies. Let us imagine a grandmother. Imagine her eyes closed as she whispers prayers, secrets she shares with the invisible God she has known since her brain could form words and her lips can utter sound. Eyes closed and in prayer, it is as if no one is around. Even the click of the gun does not break her strident conversation. Her commune with her God demands best of concentration, but her ears cannot ignore the words blanketed in hate that punctuate the quiet that had laid so neatly before. Eyes spring open, it is too late. Imagine the look of sheer terror. Imagine the fear and horror. Imagine the final plea for protection now at this intersection where church becomes the place she will die. Imagine the screams for compassion. Imagine the questions why. Let us imagine the pink dress. Let us imagine a grandmother in a pink dress, 87 years old, lived through lynchings from the 1920s, segregation and Jim Crow, survived lunch counter rebellions, Reaganomics and COINTELPRO, almost 90 years old. Imagine this grandmother, still a target because of the color of her skin. And then, I don't want to hear you mention, type, text, or hashtag the words, All Lives Matter, ever again. So, you
Well,
know,
gosh,
they all get in there.
Yes, indeed. So did you go to school in this area as well, or did you?
I did. I've gone. The DC school that I attended was Nation House Watoto Shule. I went there a couple of years as a young person, and then I went. I went to. I graduated high school from Oxon Hill High School, but also Crossland because I did VOTEC.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so everything. Yeah, so everything.
You're a Renaissance woman.
Exactly. That's what I said.
So you said VOTEC. Well, if you don't mind me asking this.
Well, my mother made me do electronics. I wanted to do welding, but she said that it was because of flash dance that I wanted to do welding, and so she made me do. She made me do electronics.
Okay.
And so I was the only girl in this class. And this was before, you know, how computers rule our world. I could troubleshoot computers and television. So yeah, I'm multi-talented.
That is absolutely wonderful. I encourage my daughter to get into all sorts of things as well. So I'm really happy to see that you follow that path.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, indeed. So okay, well, musically, what are we going to get into next?
Next, it's a song that I wrote. It's a single that's now available on the website, khadijahmoon.com. Called Free Falling. I'm falling, free falling in the wind. I'm falling in the wind. I'm falling for you, free falling again. This is part 2 of our goal at this thing called love. Ooh, we've paved a way, then walked away, just too much stuff. So why are we here, limbs and sense, overwhelming rush? There is no reason for we to exist if there's no us. I'm falling, free falling in the wind, falling in the wind. I'm falling for you, free falling again.
You're listening to Live at 5. You just heard the beautiful voice of Khadijah Moon and the lovely playing of Brother O. Harris, correct?
That's right.
Yeah, yes, indeed. O. Harris. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, for people who hate the warm weather, that was for y'all.
Right.
You know, that was for
Invoking chill.
That's
know?
right. That's right. So, but wait a minute. At the end of the song, I felt like you were going back to him at the end. Well, you were free falling at the end. I don't understand.
Right. Well, you know.
Yeah, I thought it was going to end right. I thought it was going to be where.
Well, she says, "Are we going to be docked at the shore? I'm free falling." But imagine he just keeps walking. She just let him keep walking.
Okay. I got it now. Okay.
I think what happened is that I envisioned the video, and I have to illustrate this to you all through the video. So you all have to check out my website for when that comes out. KhadijahMoon.com.
Yeah, you had to go to Solomon's Beach or something. You know. So tell us about Liberated Muse Arts Group.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Yes.
So Liberated Muse, it started as a digital community in 2008. And I've actually been here talking about some of the things that we've produced in the past. From 2008 to 2010, for 3 summers, we produced the Capital Hip Hop Soul Fest east of the river.
Right.
And so when I started it as a digital community, it was really as I was coming back from Baltimore, I wanted to get back into the artist community. So, you know, digital communities were a thing then. And all of these people started joining, and I've just built some really wonderful relationships. But I shut down the digital community in 2012 because what happened is that I began producing my plays and produced some music concerts and really began to activate myself, reemerge as an artist instead of just a producer. And so currently we're touring. We toured for 3 seasons, a piece that I did called In Her Words, which is a tribute piece. It merges theater and music, tributing celebrating such wonderful, legendary artists such as Lena Horne, Nina Simone, Billie Holiday, Zora Neale Hurston. And our last year we added Katherine Dunham. And these women in particular, because in addition to being entertainers, they were also social activists.
Right.
And that's really, really important. And the whole name Liberated Muse springs from this idea as Black women owning their bodies and their space and their talents as not just being inspirations or the supporters of others, but also being able to liberate their own artistry as women. And so the collective currently consists of myself, an artist by the name of Coley Williams, who has been here before.
Wonderful.
All of us are solo artists. Lynn Honolulu, Anonymous, her name is Anonymous, but Angela Ballard. So we're going to be at...
Is she that anonymous? Are you talking? No, I'm kidding.
Oh my God. Do you know, and this is an aside, but my daughter, we were in a car listening to PFW a couple months or last year. And don't you know when you all are doing the fund drive?
Yes.
And it says, okay, we have $25 from Anonymous. And they kept saying it, Anonymous, $50. And
Right.
So my daughter goes, wow, Anonymous is really wealthy. She keeps donating money to WPFW, and she's a young comic. So to this day, I don't know if she was serious, but it was funny. It was
right.
so funny.
So let's hear some more of it. Indeed.
Okay.
Are we going to do a song or?
I'm going to do a song.
piece?
This song is called Hunger.
Hunger.
And I don't want to preface it too much, if that's okay. I can
fine.
talk about it later,
That's fine.
after, because if I preface it, I might start crying.
Oh goodness. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Well, you're listening to Khadijah Moon.
I gave you a heads up, so.
No, I appreciate it.
Okay.
You're listening to Khadijah Moon on Live at 5. Enjoy.
Such was the life that you led. No one ever knew you bled red. You tossed around this life like a game. All I ever really knew was your name. Curtains drawn so tight around your interview. Inserting conversation, was this really you? I guessed a lot, never sure. Always hungry for a little more. Can I do some plugs or?
Sure.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
I also wanted to give a shout out to my producer, Ben Beta, also known as Hook, also known as Ben Dawson, also known as my baby daddy. He actually did the music for Hunger and for Free Fallin'.
Oh,
and
wonderful.
Yeah, he's an area producer, and we actually met in a band.
Okay.
And to my daughter, Kari, and her grandparents. Thank God for grandparents, for watching her while I'm here.
Yes, indeed. How old?
She will be 12 in September.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
a Virgo, so pray for me, y'all.
Magic times.
You know,
Nothing.
Abba.
I didn't say any other. She did.
You know, Abba.
Yeah, my man O is over here. He's a
He's a
Virgo.
Virgo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah. I didn't say that was her.
Evidently, I love y'all, right? But y'all crazy.
So yeah, the Battle of the Zodiac All Stars is going on here at Live at 5 today during
That should be a
Khadijah Brown's set.
WPFW segment on astrology.
Well, would you like to do something, a song or a?
I wanted to share a poem, and it's by Ruby Dee. Did you know Ruby Dee was also a poet?
Yes.
You knew that. Good.
Yes.
See, I'm not schooling you.
I love
Did you
Ruby
know
Dee.
that, Abba?
I
Okay,
love
see,
Ruby
all
Dee.
right, so y'all know.
This is
all right.
WPFW.
All right,
Khadijah.
oh, my bad.
Yeah, this is where
Okay.
those people are.
For all the listeners, Virgo, see,
Oh,
it's not gonna
goodness.
die.
See, it's not gonna die, right? Okay.
But for all my listeners, Ruby Dee was a poet. She was an activist, and this is her poem, "Calling All Women."
Wonderful. Khadijah Moon on Live at 5.
Calling all women. Calling all sisters, calling all righteous sisters, calling all women to steal away to our secret place, have a meeting face to face. Look at the facts and determine our pace. Calling all women. We want to reach first and second and third world women. Come together. Women in and outside the power structure. Working women. Welfare women. Women who feel alienated and isolated. Women who are all frustrated. Women who have given up. Women. Questioning women. Women unpolarized and unorganized. Ostracized. Tired of being penalized. Come help us start to bridge the gaps. Racial, cultural, and generational. We want some action and veneration. These men, they just ain't doing it. They've had hundreds of years. Now they about to ruin it. Kitchen, office, ex-prison women, old and young and middle-aged women. Make this scene, oh yes, and bring your lunch. Problems, common problems that we make and cause each other. Sister, daughter, old grandmother. Female child, you can bring your little brother. Take the subway, grab a cab, saddle your mule, bike it, limo, take a choo-choo, fly or pick 'em up, and lay 'em down. Socialism, capitalism, communism, feminism, womanism, lesbianism, here and now, or futurism. We just can't afford a schism. We got to get together or die. Now is the time for an evolution. Let's all search and find a solution for how we'll make it to the next revolution or die. Oh, yes. And don't forget your lunch.
I love Miss Ruby D. I miss her.
I love her.
Goodness gracious.
I know, but she's with Aussie.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
And she and Ruby, she and Maya Angelou passed last year, very close to each other.
They sure did. And
yeah.
But again, the work lives on, and that's what you're doing. You're laying down your work for future generations to check out in this broadcast. This will stand the test of time, hopefully, right?
Right, I hope so.
Indeed, and you certainly know how to distribute it every way that there is to distribute it.
I try. I did want to can I give the website for Liberated Muse?
Please, by all means.
So the website for Liberated Muse is liberatedmuse.com. On the website, you can find out more information about the programming that we do within the community.
So